Well, joining us on the broadcast is to talk about not just the match itself, but also everything that has surrounded this particular encounter between India and Pakistan. Again, that match is going to take place tomorrow at the Dubai International Stadium at 8 p.m. We'll try and talk about the match itself, but let me also get in Mohammad Azharuddin, the former India captain, who's joining us on the broadcast at the moment. We have former India cricketer Nikhil Chopra here. Azu bhai, I don't want to ask this question to Nikhil bhai, but I do want to ask this from you. You're not just an ex-cricketer, but you're also a politician. There have been a lot of calls, especially from the political parties, asking to boycott this particular encounter. I want to hear your views on this particular match.
Well, I think my stand for a number of years is the same. Like if you play all the tournaments, play everything and open everything. Otherwise, don't play anything, don't do anything, because that's always been my stand always. But having said that, at the same time, I mean the government has given the clearance, so I think I am nobody to comment on that. Once the government has cleared it, everybody has to follow it, and then the match will go on. As simple as that.
By Rika here, great to meet you after a very long time, and though it's online. I'll have to really ask you, when you talk about the earlier India-Pakistan encounters and talk about this encounter, do you see that despite all the noise around it, there is really not, there is no promise of it being a great contest because of the quality of players on the both sides that we see?
No, I think the quality of player from our side is outstanding. We have outstanding quality of players. We have great players. We have already players who are performing and then with distinction. So I think they will find, the Pakistan team will find very hard to dislodge Indian team in this tournament, because we have a lot of experience. But at the same time, the Pakistan team, they don't have the best players. They have dropped Mohammad Azam and then Rizwan. So the team looks very depleted. But cricket is a game. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. But if you see on paper and if you see the performance over a period of time, I think Indian team is very, very strong.
Spoken like a true Indian captain there, Nikhil bhai. Must say this.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you look at the 15 for Team India, and you look at the experience and the match winners. Somebody like a Jaspreet Bumrah is not getting an opportunity to make it to the 15.
Or even a Shreyas Iyer.
Correct. We're talking about Arshdeep not getting a game. That just goes to show the quality. The three spinners that India is looking to field: Jaspreet Bumrah, Shivam Dube, the all-rounder, Hardik Pandya, with the ability that he has to win games. You look at the 11 or maybe the 15. On their day, they're all able to turn the game on its head. Thanks to the IPL, thanks to the infrastructure of the BCCI, how the domestic circuit has been planned, the exposure that some of the India players are getting. By the time you hit or representing India with the number of India A tours that you have, you're ready to go out there and win games. That just goes to show how BCCI has been able to plan every single time in the last couple of years how to take the Indian team forward. And I think that's been the big difference as well.
Yeah.
Let's start from the top. And Azubai, Sufyan Mukim, who's a leg spinner of Pakistan, him bowling against Abhishek Sharma. How do you see that matchup? And Abhishek Sharma, likes to take on off spinners, and he becomes an off spinner against him. Right at the top, what do you think of this matchup?
No, I think it's going to be a good matchup, but I think Abhishek Sharma has always been performing. All along he's been performing, and he's got a lot of confidence behind him, and then he's scored runs everywhere. Whenever an opportunity arises, he's always there. Even in the last match, I think in the first ball he went after the bowling, although the total was very meager, only 67 runs to score. But I think he's an outstanding player, so I don't see any problem facing these players. Because Pakistan team, as I've said, they are in, as Nikhil put it, they're in a transition, but at the same time they have players. Some of the players are, players who have been playing for a long time. But at the same time, the players who are coming up, I'm sure they have a lot of talent, because I have not watched their game for a very long time, so I will not be able to say much on those lines. But as far as I can see, they will find it very hard, and Also, I want to add one thing. I think they will find Bumrah too hot to handle.
That is always the case, though.
Nikhil, is Pakistan a viable team to challenge India in Asia Cup? I mean, we are talking up the contest, but are they a viable team to challenge India at this
I would
point?
rather rate Afghanistan higher than Pakistan at this point of time.
You know, at this
I don't know
moment,
if this is the correct assessment, though.
with the kind of passion and the skill set that the Afghanistan team has shown, it's been outstanding. But to answer your question, I hope there's no contest so that we see that one-way street and the men in blue win the game.
I would much rather want to see a contest when it is India-Pakistan, and we are putting in so much effort talking the match up, and if there's no contest, it will be a disappointment.
To me, every team or every country's team goes through a transition phase over a period of time. When they're seniors, they say goodbye to international cricket. Then it's the infrastructure, the domestic structure. How well are you, being able to give the experience to the younger lot who are going to come and represent that country? So it's all a test for your country's cricket board, and I think BCCI has done an outstanding job.
Yeah.
Today, you look at every single country is looking to replicate what BCCI is doing. It just goes to show that. But with the number of match winners that we've got, I hope there's no contest.
You speak about transition. And it has been a great job that has been done by the BCCI, but I can't really say the same about Pakistan because they have been in transition for a very, very long time.
Well, true. They've got their own, their tournament, trying to replicate the IPL with the kind of quality of players that they've got, the experience, the exposure on the kind of surfaces. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough for them because, to go out there and be a world-beating side, it's not just about the 11 or the 15 on that moment in time. It takes years and years of planning. You look at our National Cricket Academy setup. It's how you even take care of the players' injuries, the domestic structure. From the international arena to the domestic, we're always looking to bridge that gap. So there's no unaccustomed use for the quicker bowlers, there are less injuries, and if there's an injury, how well do you take care of those injuries? So everything is tested. That's why Team India is where it is.
Azharuddin, when we talk about India versus Pakistan, there is always a talk around who will be the biggest stars, because this is a match that throws up stars, in the cricketing firmament. When we look at the Indian side and we look at the Pakistan side, your pick of 3 players from each side who you think will emerge as the stars on Sunday night.
I think from Indian side, I've always been a very big fan of Shubman Gill and then Bumrah and then, everybody is a great player. I'm not saying that it's very hard to pick 3 players, but with due respect to everybody, and I acknowledge all their performances and the way they have carried themselves over a period of time, and they perform from match to match. And I think Varun Chakravarti also will be a person who will be very difficult to play with. But as far as the Pakistan team is concerned, I think Fakhar Zaman is an experienced player. I'm sure he will definitely be able to do well. And then Saim Ayub is there, and another player, Abrar Ahmed, if he plays, I'm not sure.
Let's also get a sense of what is the mood there in Dubai. And Boria Majumdar, our consultant editor of NDTV, he's joining us at this point of time. Boria, the mood in India, and particularly in the political circle, it is that of boycott. What is the ground reality? Give us a sense of that.
It is obvious. I mean, there is a section in India which doesn't want this match to be played, and there are politicians, there are common people, there are fans who have been followers of cricket. And by the way, I've got absolutely no problems with that stand. My only issue with them is, why are you singling out men's cricket? Why are you not saying a word about the women's game that will be played in Colombo? Why are you not saying that Neeraj Chopra should not be part of the World Championships in Tokyo? Why are you not saying that Pakistan junior team should not play the Hockey World Cup? Why are you not saying that, boxing shouldn't happen, wrestling shouldn't happen, none of these sports should happen in India? Because Pakistan, by doing this, you are actually playing into Pakistan's hands. Because the moment you do this, all Pakistan will need to do is, wherever India is playing, they'll put one Pakistani athlete. And you will boycott that, which means there will be no sport in India. Having said that, I respect this. But the fact that the players are playing the fact that the government has taken a call, the fact that the journalists like Vimal and I are covering here, we are no less nationalists. Just like we respect the opinion of the lobby that says don't watch or boycott, we are also doing our job. The players are doing a job based on a government directive, and we are as much Indians as anybody else. So this is a personal opinion. I respect that, and I think that lobby should also respect that, rather than calling the players or any one of us anti-national.
Right. Carrying on from what Boria has just mentioned about the mood, about the entire controversy that has erupted, what I want to understand from Nikhil bhai, you and Azhu bhai, you as well, is you have been in dressing rooms against Pakistan, right? When you go into that room, are you also carrying that baggage of history with you, or is it a clean slate that you are carrying into the dressing room? How is it like for players who are going to be facing their arch rivals, and especially in this particular case, Pakistan? Starting with Azhu bhai.
Well, I think they really need to focus on this game, because I think whatever has happened behind, it has already happened. I think in '99 also, in the World Cup also, I remember then we played against Pakistan at the height of Kargil war. But I think at the same time, when you're playing in a sport, when you're going into play Pakistan, or for that matter any team, you have to start afresh and you think about the game rather than thinking of all these things, which actually at this moment doesn't matter, to be very honest. I mean, as Boria said, that we respect everybody's opinion. The opinion should be respected, and everybody has a right to say. It's a democratic country. Everybody is supposed to say whatever they can say. But at the same time, as Boria was saying, I'm of opinion that if you play everything. Otherwise, you don't play anything. That has always been my stance forever. Has been for a very, very long time. But at the same time, what I feel is, I think Indian team is above all these things, and they will go very fresh, and they will definitely play a very positive game, and then they will come out winners.
Nikolai, you wanted to add something?
I think what Azhu bhai spoke about '99 World Cup, I was part of that team, fortunate, and under the leadership of Azhu bhai, I think the way he handled the team makes a big difference. Also, as a leader of the pack, and right now you got Surya Kumar Yadav, Gautam Gambhir. That time the era was different, that we could block out the noise by not switching on the news channel or not reading the newspaper. It could be blocked out. But today we're in a world of social media. Every player is picking up their phone. It's a different sort of pressure, but it's how you handle that sort of pressure as a leader of the pack, Surya Kumar Yadav, as well as Gautam Gambhir. You go and tell your guys, listen guys, let's just try and look to control the controllables. Some things outside our purview, we are not going to be able to control that. So let's just go out there. We're here to win the tournament. Let's just put our best foot forward. Let's take it game by game, ball by ball. Let's win the 120 ball or 240 ball format that we've got. Let's just try and win that, and rest will be history. So I think that's how the skipper as well as the coach would be looking at it in the dressing room.
How do you rate Azhu bhai as a captain?
Yeah, always. Skipper is there. Heads up. Azhu bhai, when I was playing the '99 World Cup, I didn't have any biscuits, but today I do.
It's a very interesting part of the conversation.
I also want to add one thing, that like in that match against Pakistan at Manchester, when we won the match, I got so many calls and so many people in the dressing room came in and said, we are very happy that we won against Pakistan. If you don't win the World Cup also, it doesn't matter. It's a very big game for us. So these are all the emotions, you have to, be put up with, and I think Nikhil, I think he played under my captaincy.
Yes.
I think you got a lot of chances.
Nikhil, you and Azhu bhai were in the middle. I was in the stands in that World Cup,
really?
I remember. Azhu bhai, I'll have to come back to you. It's an interesting part of the conversation. Today, if you were the captain of the Indian cricket team, in the middle of a big match, if you are to be the captain of the Indian cricket team in the middle of such a big match, how do you handle the players? What do you tell them as a captain? Because as Nikhil mentioned, there is so much distraction in the age of social media, and there are obviously so many people around you. What would you tell the boys? What would your advice be to them?
Well, the only advice from my side to the players will be that we just go out and win the game. That's more important rather than block everything away, because when you're playing at this professional level. Everybody is a professional player, and you are expected to give you more than 100%. So I think just go there and enjoy the game and play the game and come out as winner. That's the only advice a captain can give, because I know now the players are outstanding players. They know their responsibilities. They know what they are supposed to do on the field, and they know what they are supposed to do off the field. So they are well trained. So I don't see any reason why we should not go and win the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And all these players to block out that noise, Rika, and I think, times have changed over a period of more than 25 years ago when we played the 99. You got personal coaches, you've got players carry their chefs, they have their own mental conditioning guys to help them. So these guys have gone and level up. You look at the fitness levels. I remember Azubai used to make us run endlessly that you need to be fit. But these guys now are true professionals. You look at the fitness of all the Indian team players. So for them to block out that noise, and I talk about controlling the controllables, I think it's going to be far easier because they're a lot more aware of how to do it. We were not aware of things, how to do it at that moment in time, but today the awareness is much more.
Yeah, I'll just tell you a little story from the Olympic Games. When I was at the Olympics, I saw every player had downloaded the Olympics app on their phone, and they were following every information around the Olympics, about their team, about the other teams. I don't know what is happening in the Asia Cup, but that's as much the ecosystem of the players have changed. Coming back to what Azubhai just said about the heroes that he's expecting to emerge out of the night of India-Pakistan game, Varun Chakravarti, we saw how he and Kuldeep Yadav controlled the last game. Do you see them continue, or do you see Arshdeep Singh coming into the side, India taking a chance with Arshdeep there?
I think why change something's not broken.
Yes.
Varun Chakravarti, the architect, I think the mystery spinner, the kind of variety of deliveries, if you don't pick him out of the hand, it gets very tough for any batsman to at least play him. Off the surface, it'll be really, really tough. And with the kind of variations that Varun has, it's really tough for any batsman to read. Kuldeep, on the other hand, also with the variations and the kind of pace that he's bowling with, spinning, turning the cricket ball off the surface as well, you're putting pressure from both ends. They bowl well together in tandem. I like to call them the spin twins. So when you look to put pressure from both ends, look to pick up wickets from both ends, it's a deadly duo. Why change that? Arshdeep, because of the heat factor, the humidity, it's not going to be swinging. So horses for courses, I don't see that change happening. Arshdeep, I know, phenomenal bowler. If you were playing in England, then it would have been different.
You will be very, very tempted to bring him back.
Correct,
Not three spinners and just one pacer.
In fact, staying on the topic, we saw in the first match of India's first match in this particular tournament, Surya, he went in with a plan. He had only Jaspreet Bumrah and Hardik Pandya as the second fast bowler. He had three full-time spinners going into this match. Azubhai, do you think Surya is going to go ahead with the same plan? What do you think he should be doing? Should he just go with the same plan that he went on against the UAE, or do you think there needs to be some changes?
No, I think you should go with the same plan because I think the players will perform. Because on that wicket you need three spinners because it's not going to be a wicket where there will be a lot of movement and there will be a lot of moisture because the conditions are very hot and the wickets are going to they'll get dried very quickly. So I think we need three spinners. I think it's very heartening to see Kuldeep Yadav coming back and playing again. It's great to see him bowl again in a match. But I wish he could have played some games in England too.
Spinners can win games as well.
Of course. We absolutely agree.
We will have to have a longer discussion on mystery spin.
Yeah.
That is an oft-used word these days. But what exactly is mystery spin? What is hysterical?
I wish I had a cricket ball. Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow, maybe
with the cricket ball, I'll try and decode what a mystery spinner is.
Yeah, and what Sunil Narine is all about.
Exactly.
Also, I will get to you for that. But Azubhai,
there's the KKR fan coming out of it.
But I have never played a mystery spinner, so I don't know what a mystery spinner is.
Azubhai, because you always decoded the spinners, so there was no mystery.
Yeah, but with that wrist work, I'm pretty sure he would be able to play any mystery spinner.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that.
But But Azubhai, talking about the generation of today, do you see anyone in this generation of player having the kind of wrist work that you had?
I think everybody is playing very well. I think that some of them are playing much better
humble.
than me.
Yeah, that's just being.
You are being humble.
Very modest.
I mean, no, I'm not being humble or modest, but I'm genuinely saying that the players are really batting very well. If you see the technique, if they see the way they are playing, I mean, different strokes. I must give credit to them. I think they're outstanding players. I really love them playing. Because I think for me, Shubman Gill is an outstanding player.
If I may say so.
Yeah.
Azubhai, like you to speak about wrist and somebody who had the
that
option,
rubbery wrist.
Exactly, option of playing that one delivery in 3 different or 4 different places. Surya Kumar Yadav to me.
Okay.
With the innovations, the improvisations of T20 cricket.
Modern day Mohammad Azharuddin?
Yeah, I mean, maybe with power also.
Not in style quotient.
No, style Azubhai was far ahead. Everybody, all of us, when he was the leader, we used to try and emulate the collars up and try and replicate his walk. So he had a different aura.
Azubhai, talking about batters, there's a lot of talk around Sanju Samson, whether he should be batting lower down the order. Because he has traditionally opened and got the returns there. What do you think of him coming down the order now?
No, I think, there are players who have had their places cemented at different numbers. So I think he has to play wherever he's been given an opportunity, he has to play. But I think he's an outstanding player, a great talent. But I think he needs a lot of talking and a lot of guidance, because I thought he was going to be one of the best players, outstanding batsman, great, follow through with the bat and outstanding strokes. But I think they need some type of thing, talking to him, I thought that he's been a feature of cricket, feature in any of the formats, because once you play at T20 formats, like if you speak to him nicely, if you tell him what is exactly he's supposed to do, I'm sure he would have become a very big player. But I still, he's a great player, and hopefully, he doesn't get to bat that so far down. I think hopefully the players in the top 3, 4, 5 will do it.
I guess it's the opportunity for Sanju Samson. I think after 3 players, this format is such a 120 ball format. It's all about strike rate. You look at the Indian team today, it's like a problem of plenty. If the top 3 guys bat till say 11, 12 overs, you won't be surprised. You won't see a Sanju Samson walk out at 4. If the left arm spinner or the left arm orthodox spinner is batting, you have an option of sending in maybe a Tilak, Shivam Dube to go out there and have fun. Right arm off spinner bowling, Hardik Pandya can go. Or Sanju Samson has to go out there and tonk every single delivery, because then you've only got say 30-35 deliveries left in the innings, so you need to go out there and up the ante. So I think for me this format is all about strike rate, less number of deliveries and maximum how you can maximize.
So from India's middle order, let's talk a little bit about Pakistan's middle order. Azubhai, Pakistan has got Fakhar Zaman in the middle order. Is that the right position for him to play once again?
Not in a 50 over format, yes, because he needs to play.
Last 30 seconds, Nikhil.
Well, I guess
Fakhar Zaman.
I think if he's batting at number 4, it's helping India's cause, because he's going to be playing less number of deliveries, less options or opportunity that he's going to have to run away with the game. So I'm pretty happy him batting at 4 and 5.
Well, despite the heat around this particular contest, despite the calls for boycott, the match is going to happen tomorrow at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We'll be back here at 7 p.m. to get you all the latest and the build-up to that big clash. Thanks for watching.